Buenos dias, or buenas tardes, or buenas noches. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I want to show you guys this really easy glam look. I'm actually going to be getting ready to go do a gig. I have a wedding that I'm doing makeup for today. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, let's go. Good morning. I'm actually getting ready for a gig that I'm doing this morning. I'm doing a bride, and I've told you guys before that this concealer is like tried and true in terms of longevity and how it wears with a mask, but I don't know if I have a shade dark enough for me right now. So we're gonna try it. This is 4.3, and oh yeah, that might work, right? Let's see. My hair's still wet, so I'm just letting my hair dry and then I'll style it, but I figured I'd just get it out of the way. Even with all this concealer that I'm using, guys, this stuff lasts forever. Sephora recently had a sale, and one of you lovely ladies messaged me to tell me it was on sale. And so I'm taking a damp beauty blender. I went ahead and I repurchased my shade Without a Tan. And then I picked up a few in-between shades. And this is actually one that I had purchased when I first bought the concealers. But you guys know with COVID and everything, I really wasn't getting a ton of sun and they were too dark. But now I can use it. Make sure to get your ears when your foundation, as you guys saw, my face is not anywhere near, as you know, the color of my body right now. So definitely I'm wearing darker shades on my face. And I have to say that I really like the way that this looks. Also, typically with this concealer, I wear it with, I'm going to take a little bit more, just put it here and around my nose. Just a really thin layer, just to make sure that it wears well with the mask. Normally with this product, I like to go in with a brush. But as you guys know, the Beauty Blender soaks up some of your product, not a ton, but it does definitely absorb some of your product versus using a brush. So I purposely picked a Beauty Blender today because I wanted to make sure that any excess product was not sitting on top of my skin, because that's key with this concealer when you're wearing it as your foundation. I really like the way this looks. So for my this is so funny. I'm using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer by Makeup Forever, and this is in the shade 34. I really like this concealer for under your eyes because I feel like it gives you hydration, and currently my under eyes are super dry, so I want to make sure that we are nice and hydrated under here. The matte velvet can be a little dry under your eyes, so if you're naturally drier, or if you have lines under your eyes, which most of us do, then you won't like the matte velvet concealer for your under eye. I wore it, I think it was, I don't remember if it was for my son's birthday, where I wore it all over my face. I had a gig that morning, and then I came home to his birthday party, and I just remember, again, whenever I have an event or a gig or something I needed to wear well under a mask, I use the matte velvet skin. And when I was looking back at pictures, my under eyes look so freaking dry. It was not cute. I'm gonna take a little bit of my NARS creamy concealer and just hit this area here. Just want a little bit of a brighter under eye today. Isn't that weird? And as I said that, I might grab a little bit of the matte velvet and mix. Mixing is not a bad move because you're adding, again, just a little bit of that concealer in with something that's a little bit creamier. But when you just use the matte velvet under your eyes, you are going to find that it does wear exceptionally well, but you are also going to find that it is very drying. So just a little tip. Unless you use like really hydrating under eye primers or eye creams, you may not like it. And I would say that my eye cream is really rich and hydrating. Even then, for me, I felt like it was too dry. I'm just gonna take the round end of the Beauty Blender and then blend my concealers in so that it doesn't look so obvious and bright. Again, I like more of a natural highlight under my eyes. I love the way that this looks. I've really been loving the Pat McGrath powder, so I'm going to take medium 2, which is the lighter shade, and then medium 3, which is the darker shade. And with medium 2, I'm going to take my puff and apply that under my eyes. And then I'll also add some to the top lid. I'm debating on whether I want to do eye makeup today. Normally, I keep my makeup very easy and simple for, I'm going to hit the center of my face with the lighter one, when I have events, because obviously like pictures and, you know, you have professional photographers there, and I don't want to take away from like the bride. And then also just like to keep things really, really easy for me. Usually I'm just trying to be in and out, you know, not have to worry about like liner looking even, or worrying about, you know, like what makeup I'm going to do. I really like to just keep everything very simple. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little bit of medium 3 with a Charlotte Tilbury, I think this is a bronzing brush, but today I kind of feel like I want to play with a little bit of shadow. Part of me is just saying, don't do it. Always follow your gut, guys. When I've gone against my gut, let me tell you, no bueno. I end up struggling with liner or something. So I think I'm just going to keep it simple, and voila. Isn't that beautiful? I love this powder so much. It's so fine. It's not detectable on the skin. Like, it is beautiful. I'm going to be using my Patrick Ta She Sculpted contour product. I'm going to start off by taking the powder. I have learned that by starting with the powder, I get a better finish. So I'm going to start off by just bronzing my face. Ooh, I'm getting product all over my hair. I'm going to go in with the cream product. And the nice thing is, you guys know I have powder on, but look at how just smooth that looks. I'm going to take whatever's left on this puff and just kind of clean up. Also, the trick I find to this powder or this cream product is the fluffier the brush, the smoother the application. I like using his brush. They're actually both dirty. I bought 2 and I washed them yesterday, which is why I'm not using them today. But I do like a fluffier brush for the cream product. I just feel like it gives you just a really blended, airy look. And I like to leave this powder on to bake, but I like to do a really thin layer. And I feel like, you know, I powder my entire face and I let it sit while I'm doing the rest of my makeup. So essentially the powder is baking. And then I go in with everything else and set it so that powder sits on top of my skin the entire time. And it locks my makeup in place. All right, guys, so I was super excited to pick this palette up. This is the NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette. And I think I'm going to use, part of me wants to go in with this shade. I think I'm gonna do this middle shade. And this is pretty because these have a sheen to them. So if you are somebody that has textured skin, you might not like these because there definitely is. All right, guys, so as you can see, I ended up doing a liner, and what I took was my Barbarella Brown Rock and Roll liner by Charlotte Tilbury, and I use this Melt Cosmetics liner brush, which, to be honest with you guys, I never really used, but it is good. And I never had an interest in it because the brush hair actually feels really stiff and hard, but it was really nice to work with. So I'm glad I tried that today. And then I took a little bit of my concealer and just kind of cleaned up the outer line just to make it a little bit sharper. My battery ended up dying, so I don't know if you guys got to see, but I ended up using this middle shade and then took a little bit of this shade and just added it to the high points of my face. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit. As I say, part of me wants to go in with one of the deeper shades, but I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take this bottom shade here, just a little bit, and then add that to the apples. Oh yeah, that's what I needed. I wanted it to be a little bit more bright. Yeah, that's really pretty. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Also, I did take my Pat McGrath Labs yellow powder and I use that to set my lids and under my eyes. For my mascara, I'm going to be using my Dior 3D Lash Primer. I'm going to use a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Push Up and, of course, my NARS Extreme Climax. So let's just start building that up. I know it's a lot. I fully recognize that. And if you're somebody that likes just one mascara and maybe a primer or just the one, go ahead and do you. But I have really been enjoying my little concoction. So I'm just gonna keep that going for today. I think I might end up throwing a little bit of a color in my crease. You know how I told you guys that I like to keep my makeup very basic and easy when I have gigs because I don't want to have to worry about like making sure that everything's even and that it looks symmetrical. Well, my liner was a little bit of a struggle. This one ended up looking a little bit more rounded on the outside. It looked nice. I liked the way that it had turned out, and I just could not get this one to match. So I had to make this one a little bit sharper. If you're wondering why I use a primer, honestly, I find that using a primer has made a difference in my lash care. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because you're like, really, lash care? You have to take care of your lashes. But I find that my lashes don't fall out as much. I find that they are not like brittle or anything. Like, they're actually pretty healthy. And again, I know that sounds crazy, but think about it. I wear mascara every day, and that can be rough on your lashes. So I find that it conditions them, and the growth has been pretty consistent. Like, I don't have any issues with my lashes being sparse sometimes. So I do find that it's helped the overall health of my lash. The other thing is, you guys know, I've told you time and time again, my lashes are pretty flat and I don't curl my lashes. It's just a step that I've never really cared for. So I find that with this primer, I don't need to curl them. I like the way that my lashes look, and it's a product, in case if you've been with me for a long time, you know that it's a product that I've used probably for about maybe 3 to 5 years. And I've tried a few different ones, but Dior is by far my favorite lash primer. And she's pricey, but I always get it when Sephora has a sale. All right, guys, we're gonna go in with my Extreme Climax mascara. The Charlotte Tilbury gives me more length than volume. I like to go in with this one just to give myself more volume. I love spending time on making my lashes look long and full, especially if you're not somebody that wears lashes, which I'm not. I'll wear them for like special occasions, but even then, I'd rather load up on mascara. I ended up picking up the Patrick Ta 4 Eyes palette, and I want to haul it for you guys and do a review on it. So I don't want to make a huge mess, but I do want to use it. So I think I'm going to take this shade here and then just apply that to the crease just to add a little something to this look and just really tie it in. I felt like, oh yeah, like I needed something extra. And this color is stunning. This is just the most flattering neutral brown shade, and I think that's why this palette reminded me a lot of Biba. Comparing them, there's some similarities, but I wouldn't say that they're dupes for each other. I really like the way that the palette has some warmth, but it's more neutral. I'm a huge fan of neutral palettes. I like warm shades, but I'm more of a neutral palette kind of girl. I'm gonna go in with his bronzer and then just add some more depth to this crease. And again, this is going to be a really basic look, guys, but you know, I just felt like it needed a little something, and so we're gonna give it to it. I'm gonna run a little bit of this under my lashes here. All right, guys, so for today's look, I'm going to be using Carnival by Lisa Eldridge, which is a really beautiful pink. Unfortunately, my bullet broke, so I have to be really careful. Here is the final look. I love just how easy this was and how polished it looks without being too much. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this get ready with me. I need to make sure that my stuff is ready and good to go, which I did that last night, but you can never be too sure. If you guys enjoyed this, please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see in upcoming videos. And let me know down below what your favorite product was, or if there's anything in this video that you'd like for me to further review. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.